All right, what's going on, family? What's going on? Another day that we blessed. You know what I'm saying? Minimizing the stress, passing the test. You know what I mean? You just gotta stay focused. You know what I'm saying? It's like the program can get you to forget, like, you know, the Southern hospitality. Like, this country, America, is filled with pride. You know what I'm saying? That's what the nation been built upon, pride and secrecy. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. But there is hospitality. You know what I'm saying, in the South. Like, that's what kind of differentiates, the southern states from a lot of different other places, like the West Coast, the North. When you go into the northern states and stuff, it's a little bit more grimy. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people ain't been brought up about no southern hospitality. They just been brought up like, you gotta survive. You know what I'm saying? Hustle and bustle. You gotta know what you're doing, or get stepped on like a bug. So it's more, you know what I'm saying? You gotta know how to move in the northern states. You know what I mean? And the West Coast too, you just gotta know how to move. You just gotta, you know what I'm saying? And the South, other than the cities, like they have major cities in the South and stuff like that where, you know, it's hustle and bustle. But when you go into the country, you know what I'm saying? You really get the Southern hospitality. Like, people will give shirts off their back. People are really, you know what I'm saying, really nice. You know what I mean? Even though there's racism everywhere. It's racism always going to be in the air. But it's usually like genuine, kind-hearted people. The Southern, you know what I mean, things is just lower cost. You know what I mean? It's like you find you a hustle and boom, you get it going from there, and people look out for each other. When you in this, just like when you travel out of the country into like other areas, third world countries, you'll see like in them poverty-stricken areas and stuff, how genuine and nice and kind-hearted people are outside of America. You really get to see the pride of America I haven't traveled, but just from me hearing other people's experiences and things like that, it's just like, it's a breath of fresh air, because people in these other countries, they're a lot more hospitality. Like, they, you know what I'm saying? They look out for each other. You really get to see the love of the heart of humans. But here in America, the pride of America, now that you've been placed in the gang stalking program, you don't even really you see a little bit of the Southern hospitality, but you don't really see it. You can tell it's a difference. You know what I'm saying? People in northern states, they probably can't tell. I mean, yeah, the gang stalking, I'm pretty sure they could tell, but you being in the South, you can clearly tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to clearly differentiate. You know what I mean? So in this subject, I just wanted to talk about, down the rabbit hole just a little bit more.
Hey, look it.
Oh no, I'm good.
Come on,
no, I'm good.
Nah. Look it. Put it on. Try it on.
No, I don't want it. I don't want it. All right, so today's subject that I want to talk about today is the biometric scan and the weaponization of frequency. So when we think about biometric, natural, nature, your body, your physical body, and the metric, the meter, that they got technology that can just read your body. Because it's like one thing that I've noticed, what they'll evaluate on. They'll read your body in a way, scan your body, and read it in a way where they'll see what things get you the most, like some type of hormone release response, like what things tense you up, and what, like, I guess that's how they know. Like, it's just, I'm guessing. You know what I'm saying? What type of hormone release? So they know what type of people to have around you, and they know what type of people not to have around you, even if you have the same mannerism amongst both people. they can still see the hormone release. Like some people, it's just like a breath of fresh air. You know what I'm saying? The genuine encounter, and then when y'all have a conversation, it's a free flow. It's not forced. You know, and then when you're around certain people, it may be tense. It feels forced. They want to keep you around those type of people because they're looking for an absolute result. They're looking for an absolute response. They know if they keep hitting the same area, you're gonna break. You know what I'm saying? If you're a normal person would break, right? But you know, a TI is not normal. So the thing about it, they got these biometric scans where they scan your heart rate, your blood pressure, they scan all type of things. You know what I'm saying? Just to evaluate. So in certain situations, when you happy, when you excited, when you got enough dopamine release, and you know what I'm saying, they know you having a good day, even if you don't try to show it, because there's some days it's like I'm feeling good, but I'm not. I'm just gonna keep it normal. It will be like if you ever seen Silent Hill. You ever seen Silent Hill the movie? It'll be like a siren that goes off in the movie. And when that siren goes off, the people of that town, they dip for safety because they know once that siren go off, it gets eerie. The monsters start coming out. You know what I'm saying? The weird looking nurses. You know what I mean? That dude with that huge sword come out, and it just gets real weird and spooky. That's the same thing with this program. It's like once you get to a certain hormone release, you get excited or things is going good for you. It's like a frequency that just gets set off, an invisible frequency. It just manipulates people's emotion almost mechanically. You know what I'm saying? And it's just almost like one of them horror movies. That's the best way to describe it. Things just start happening. You know what I'm saying? People will start being removed. You know, the people that give you a good hormone release or whatever, make you feel good, they'll keep them people away from you. You know what I'm saying? And they'll keep people that keep you tense and irritated, they'll push them people towards you. They'll keep them people because they want a certain response. You know, so let there be light. They want a certain response. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing about that. You just have to have a sharp enough mindset. You know what I mean? You know that these people are using cheat codes. They're using technology to read you because even with your mannerism, you know what I'm saying? If they doing it naturally, the mannerism, they're not supposed to, you know what I'm saying? No, but it's like you feel good and you just notice, you know what I'm saying? That boom, they try to replace and remove and, you know what I'm saying? Push people around you that, you know what I mean, you kind of want to be around. It's not like you don't like people. It's just people just have to respect that you can't be friends with everybody. You don't mix with everybody. You got respect everybody and stuff like that. But you know what I'm saying? You don't mix with everybody, and everybody don't mix with you. That's okay. But when it comes to you don't harass people. You don't, you know what I'm saying? Try to destroy what they got going on. You don't do that, but they do that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like you got to know how to keep your distance dealing with these people with this biometric scanning type, you know what I'm saying, technology. And another thing, the weaponization of frequency, you know what I'm saying, which is down the rabbit hole because if I do get it, I don't get it to the point where how some other TIs like they talk about all this technological stuff, the ELF, what is that? Extremely low frequency, how they can radiate microwave beams to burn you, to you know what I'm saying, do certain things. I don't get the burn, thank God. I don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's targeting, I guess, is different. You know what I mean? My targeting is more so psychological. And sometimes they'll sabotage certain things and mess with certain items that I get on the frequent. And it's psychological. You know what I'm saying? It's my targeting is mainly plausible deniability. You know what I'm saying? They don't leave evidence like that with scars and burnt tissues and you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. But one thing I might get, if I'm too excited or I'm having a good day or I'm consistent at something, it'll feel like something is poking me, like a needle is poking me. concentrated spot while I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes around my feet, sometimes around my back. You know, I know when you stand on your feet for a long time, you get this burning sensation. You know what I'm saying? Your feet can, because it's swelling up and stuff, and then you gotta let it numb out. You know what I mean? But it's a different feel from just standing on your feet. It's like something is pinpointing certain areas of your body. I get that. And then they have this frequency type of technology where it can create sound in your head. I guess they call that V2K, where they can, it's almost like a telephone. You know, the telephone has frequency where there's no cord to it or nothing, right? But there's a frequency where sound can come out of your telephone, cell phone device, your smartphone device. Sound can come out of it, right? So somehow they use frequency just like how they do it with the phones, where somebody call you, you see the number on the screen, you answer, and there's sound that come out of the device. Well, they have frequency where, like, they can pinpoint a certain person, like a fingerprint recognition. Like fingerprints, everybody has different fingerprints. That's how they're able to recognize who is who, because everybody's different based off their fingerprints. You get what I'm saying? So in the same way, everybody's different with the cell phone numbers. You know what I'm saying? If you call the wrong cell phone number, somebody else is going to answer. You know what I mean? But if you call the right cell phone number, the right person's going to answer. So they can signature. You have a signature. You have a, you know what I'm saying? Nobody will hear this sound, but you know what I'm saying? Wherever the address is intended for the frequency to go to. So it's like they got certain type of frequency where they can put sound that can come out of your head, like how it comes out of a smartphone device. And with this sound, they call it V2K, or voice of God. And they have used this technology, you know what I'm saying, to I guess fool people in like war, military. Usually military get their hands on it first. I think they used it before to get like certain Arab soldiers to surrender because they thought Allah was talking to them. You know what I'm saying? So this is very sophisticated like type of technology. You know what I mean? The only time I've experienced that, I had a couple videos talking about I experienced that, you know, I was high. So I had it's plausible deniability, you know what I'm saying? But I think it was like punishment, and, you know, I was in a different state. I was in Florida at the time, and, you know, boom. But after that, I haven't really got the V2K, the sounds. Thank God for that. But when I look at other people and how they move and how they sync and how they, you know what I'm saying, can talk, it's like, well, communicate with each other, not talk, but how they communicate with each other. It's almost telepathically. It's like they don't need a phone. Like, you know, a homeless person can get alerted without no phone, without no smart device or anything like that. And they get alerted, you know what I mean, to post and do the perp stuff and do the tactics and do the things that try to get you down and stuff like that. So, you know what I'm saying? That is like, how are they doing that? Only ways could be with this frequency. You know what I mean? They're using it too. It's not just like they're just using it on the victim. They're using it, you know, they're using the technology for their gang too. So it's like certain people be having this technology where, you know what I'm saying, this going down the rabbit hole, this technology where they can communicate with each other. And that's how they know where to be, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. They don't have to look at their phones. You know what I'm saying? I know, like, at the beginning of my targeting, I used to see a lot of people look at their phones like they looking at instructions or what to do. But if they have this frequency that can, you know what I'm saying, create sound out of their head, they don't need their phones. You know what I'm saying? They could just be instructed from this frequency. You get what I mean? So it's actual frequency war going on. So it is what it is. I don't want to be a part of that. You know what I mean? On that technological scale, but it's like, it's got this sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? This technology, you know, people may not believe that it's real, but you know what I'm saying? I believe it. I'm just thankful that I don't go through that. You know what I'm saying? I don't go through that like no more. You know what I'm saying? So I'm kind of thankful for that, and I just keep pushing forward and just striving, doing what I can do. But I see people act weird. It's like certain people don't like you being happy. It's like you don't deserve to be happy or something. You know what I mean? For a while period of time. Like if they want you to be happy, you got to be like out of sight, out of mind, and your comfort bubble. And even if you're happy in your comfort bubble, if you're using their internet, if you're using their that you pay for, if you're using their TV, any technological thing, it can be messed with certain frequencies. You know what I'm saying? They can mess with your internet. They can just mess with stuff. And if you don't be on the TV, if you don't be on your phone, they can create sound, they can create noise, or whatever you try to isolate. Then if you try to have something to cancel out the noise, they'll do odor harassment. They'll do odor harassment. They'll just attack your senses. You know what I'm saying? If they can't attack your visual, you close your eyes, you gonna smell something. Rotten egg, you gonna smell something like, dang, what is that coming from? They gonna find ways to harass you. You know what I'm saying? They're getting your dreams with it. You know what I mean? They got to be known. They got to be recognized. This technology is far fetched, and it's just like we TIs. We're trying to make sense out of this technology, and anything that people can't make sense. You know what I mean? We automatically throw it in spiritual, which spiritual is real. You get what I'm saying? The spiritual aspect of this thing is real. You know what I mean? And things that you don't understand, you just give it to God. And that's reasonable. That's understandable. But people got to understand the scientific point of it too. You know what I mean? It's definitely technology in this thing. Look where we at with it. They got robots in warehouses now. They got cars that drive themselves. This is not the 1990s here. You know what I'm saying? This is the future. We living in the future. This is really what's going on. So it's like, it's believable at this point. It's believable at this point. So they got frequencies where they can use as a weapon, weaponize it. I mean, any method that they use to harm someone or something. So they use these frequencies to harm someone or something, and harming the target, the designated target that they want to harm. You know what I mean? I just thank God. You know what I'm saying? Some people are just protected, and they don't have to go through those things. I'm my condolences to the targeted individuals that actually are being beamed with certain radiation to affect your heart, beamed with certain radiation to try to abnormal your cells, create cancer, beam you with these certain things. You know what I mean? Try to poison your food and stuff like that. A lot of TIs go really above and beyond. Like, oh, I'm just gonna grow my own crops. But with people that ain't in that situation, you have to just trust God, and God will give you the discernment. You know what I'm saying? You still have to have the wisdom. You see something that don't look right, don't smell right, don't consume it. But if it looks right, it smells right, then the next thing you need to do, pray. And you know what I mean? Pray before you eat your food, and give it to God. Let God handle it. The things that you can't control, you gotta let God handle it. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's good to have God in your life, because if you just trying to think that, you know what I mean, you your own God and you can handle things, you know what I'm saying? These people just be able to do you any type of way. You know what I'm saying? And they can't do me any type of way. You know what I mean? I done experienced a lot of things, and you know what I mean? I done been let down, you know what I'm saying? I done experienced being up, and I experienced being down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm at this point, survival, and try to be as comfortable as I can, and try to be as genuine to the people that's genuine to me, and just play my part. That's it. You know what I'm saying? But they do have technology, that can read your biometric, your body, that can read your body, your chemicals, all that. It can read your body. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I'm pretty sure they can probably, the AI can probably have possibilities of visions of whatever that you're thinking. I don't know if they get it clear HD high definition of what you're thinking, but they get bits and pieces of your thoughts. I don't think they get all of your thoughts. And it's basically how your brain works. You know what I'm saying? If you speak loud in your mind, maybe that's how they get it. But you can speak silently in your mind and you can speak loud in your mind. It's just how your brain works. So for some people, it probably confuses them because it's how your brain works, how your brain, you know what I'm saying? For some people, how their brain works, they might get a clear view vision of what you're thinking. You know what I'm saying? This technology is far fetched and it's not fully out in the public yet. You know what I'm saying? The technology that they putting out in the public is more watered down. You know what I mean? So they definitely got this in the military, and if we're being targeted by the military, duh, this is what they're using. So you might have rogue people in the military or military buddies, and they get these toys and gadgets and stuff and just wreak havoc on us. You know what I'm saying? But they got to do things in plausible deniability ways where they can't get caught and it can't get traced back to them. You know what I'm saying? Because if the public really knew what was going on, it'll definitely be a civil war. It'll be a revolution. It'll be a problem. You know what I'm saying? So they don't want that. So they're going to try to do things as sneaky as possible. But this technology is real, fam. And with that being said, peace.